Hey there, this is Butch. I got a reply. I made a comment on Dr. Hovind's video. Dr. Kent Hovind Q&A Atheism and Evolution 9/15/15 Part 5. I made a comment on there and somebody wrote me, well emailed me, whatever it is, but it's not up on his page yet. And I put in there it was 1 Corinthians 15, verse 38 and 41 through 41. Of course, it's verses before and after that prove that creation is. We didn't evolve from monkeys. We didn't evolve from a rock. And I just wanted to address what this mom got to say. Let's see here. Okay. Whenever mom says anything about food, hey, I'm there. But anyway, just want to let you know there, Ross Bennie, that I am not a fan, as some people count fans, to Dr. Hovind. But anyway, if that's what you feel I am, then that's what you feel I am. You have to excuse me, I just woke up here recently. I work long hours. Anyway, and it's third shift. But anyway, it says, I see you're a big fan of Hovind, all his videos now. You do really realize that every one of his so-called facts about evolution have been widely, deeply, and thoroughly debunked. Well, I see it like this, brother. It hasn't been disproved. You can debunk all you want, you can say this and you can say that, but until you disprove it, you haven't gone anywhere. Okay? As you seem to be so up to date with Bible references, can you let me know where it says in Genesis that huge mountains rose during or after the flood? Surely that would have rated and mentioned after the creation, flood, etc. Also interested in how an olive tree survived 12 months underwater so a pigeon could bring a leaf day one after. Okay, I think you might have had more written on there, but I just can't see it on this thing. Well, the roots of the mountain and everything, let's go to that. Regarding the mountains, that is, if you go to Genesis chapter 7 verse 11, as is in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up. Okay, and the windows of heaven were opened. Now, if you do like Kent suggests, and if you take all the water away from the earth, you will see there's like a mid-Atlantic ridge, a open and lower Atlantic ridge, and it kind of follows the contour and the shape and the outline of Africa. And there's one, and it goes all the way around. It comes all the way to, which is the Dead Sea, and it goes up the Dead Sea into the Valley of Araba, whatever it is, to the Dead Sea. Did I say the Red Sea? I meant the Red Sea, to the Dead Sea. It goes all the way up and through there, and there's other plate tectonics. Evidently, though, there were the fountains of the great deep were in certain places where water came up and just gushed. I mean, it was like geysers of water pushing earth and what have you. And so that's not to say that you cannot not say that those activities that were happening during the flood caused mountains to be formed, like like the Himalaya mountains, the other mountains, Ararat, and things of that nature. Even the mountains of that time might have gotten bigger, depends on where the fault line was. And there, we all know there is water trapped underneath the mountains and everything in some places. But anyway, let me go back here, and so I mean that's without a doubt that could actually happen during the flood. But I'm gonna go to here to real quick to 1 Corinthians 15 and show you what I was saying here. And I'm surprised you didn't quote me, or you didn't get the verse out there. But anyway, let me get out of here. I'm on the phone and doing this with my flip camera, my old one. So come on, get out of the way. There we go. Okay, let me look this up. 1 Corinthians 39 is already on there. How about that? Alright, so if you look at verse 38, it says, but God giveth God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body. That's important to note there. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one body of the sun, another glory of the moon, glory of the sun, and one glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star differeth from another star in glory. So also is a resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised into incorruption. So anyway, that tells us right there, we don't come from a rock. We don't come from primordial ooze. We didn't come from King Kong or any of his offspring, okay? So we all have our specific flesh. We all have our own specific bodies. And you also asked me about how could so be underwater for like 12 months and so, this, that, and the other. And then, well, actually, it only rained for 150 days, and there were areas of the earth that are already drying off. And Kent makes it clear in some of his videos, and I believe it to be true, that, and it's obvious. It's like when you go outside and you see it raining and you see all that stuff floating around from a big flood, well, not a flood that, even from big floods, that you have seen probably throughout, like Katrina happened in New Orleans and Louisiana. There were things floating on top of the water, this, that, and the other. There was straw, there was debris, there was logs, there was wood, so that naturally we can assume, Ross, that as Kent was saying, a fresh, and even with the mountains of the great deep and everything, and things like that, if mountains being formed, the plate tectonics themselves were extremely malleable after the flood. And so after the flood and all the water came down, and everything, like there's a big mountain out here, it's called Star Mountain. When everything settled and that water started coming down, everything petrified. It turned to stone, it turned to rock. But at the same case, whenever all this was happening after the flood, that these seeds settled down, because they don't get destroyed, they float on water. God can do anything he wants. He's God. He can make and perform miracles to replant the earth, and that's exactly what he did. If he didn't, it would have been a deserted wasteland, and it's not. So we see the proof. And so these seeds fell into the soil, landed on the soil, in a soft, mushy soil, and it took root. And it's like he said in his videos and everything, and it's quite, and he says it from observance, I'm sure, that when the seed gets put in the dirt and it gets fine, so you put a seed in the dirt, it's going to do what it's supposed to do. And that's exactly what happened. So there's no doubt that there's a possibility that there was an olive seed there, they planted, that it got, fell on that fertile soil, took root and grew from a time. And that's extremely within the limits of that's surely within the limits of Noah's Ark landing and the dove going out. There were places on the earth that were growing up but yet they couldn't get out and and populate, because there was the ground was either too soggy or there was too much water in other places. So that you can't discount that. So anyway, I appreciate your comment and everything, and I appreciate you questioning me, and I'm glad to do this video. And no, I'm not a fan of Dr. Kent Hovind. I'm just a friend. I'm a brother in Christ, and I don't make more of him than I should. And I'm sure would expect that. And like I told him over the phone the other day, he was asking me about, answering questions and stuff, and because I guess he naturally assumes that every time somebody gets on there, it's like, oh, your biggest thing, ah. And I was like, no, Doc, don't worry about it. I'm not going to ask you a ton of questions and everything. If I got questions, I'll call you. But if you're spending time with your grandchildren, your family, I wouldn't expect you to be on the phone with me. It's like I'm a brother in the Lord, and that's all there is to it. I'm not some kind of fan that goes nuts and crazy. I mean, they're Christian brothers and sisters that are fans, of course. But that's between them and Kent. That's not between me and Kent. I mean, for me, I have David W. Daniels as a friend. Am I his fan? No, I'm just his brother in Christ. And sometimes I send him stuff, sometimes he sends me stuff. That's the way it goes. Anyway, thank you for your question, and God bless you. And I hope that it answers anything that you might have toward me or even Kent there. Anyway, I'll try to answer the best way I can. But anyway, there you go. We'll see you later. Thanks.